Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today, we have the Tuyaknife Bruiser D2. Very cool knife from Tuyaknife. If you've not heard of them, it's not that big of a surprise. They are fairly new to the scene, but they do have U.S. representation now. Lovely couple of Warrens. Run a nice little website, nice little Facebook page. Very easy to get your hands on them. Prices are good. They arrive quickly. And if you have a problem, you're not going to be sending all the way back to China. You're going to be sending it to them, which is really cool. I'm very happy to see that from Tuyaknife because they make some really cool stuff. And having to ship it back and forth to China was the thing that stopped people from buying it. Now you don't have to do it. One of the things they added too was names. This used to just be called the cleverly named D2 model. And it was just didn't really have a name. They've added names to everything. We're Americans. We like names. It's much easier to remember than numbers. I hate that so much with some Chinese companies. We used to do it. Rake still does. Just the just little number codes. I want a name. This is the Bruiser, and it's an appropriate name. This is a bruiser of a knife for absolutely certain. D2 steel, kind of a bruiser of a steel. Good working horse steel. And you have an overall length of 8.4 inches, pretty large. Blade length, 3 3/4 inches, also pretty large. Thick handle, 0.6 inches, not obscenely thick, but pretty thick. Also has some heft to it, 5.1 ounces, how I measured it, which isn't obscenely heavy, but not terribly light by any means. The blade stock is not ridiculously thick, though. You're looking at 0.15 inches on that, so not too bad there. Let's do some size comparisons, give you an idea what this thing is like. We will use one of our standards. First of all, Spyderco Paramilitary 2. You can see it's a little larger than a PM2. And next up, another one of our standards. We have the Ontario Rat Model 1 in D2. Same blade steel. This is also a very similarly purposed knife to that. And just to pull out another bruiser, one of my favorite kind of hardcore knives, the Cold Steel American Lawman. I haven't done that song in a long time. That felt good. You can see it's a little bit longer than an American Lawman. Lastly, I'm going to show you a Bestech that is not available yet, but by the time you're watching this, it's probably going to be available within days or a week, couple weeks at the most. This is the Bestech Paladin, fairly new knife from Bestech. Showing you this because it's a very similar knife. This can be about a $52 knife when it comes out. This is a $45 knife. I'm showing you this because there is, and I'm not talking out of school, I've heard this from multiple people, so I'm not spreading rumors or breaking anyone's confidence. There is some kind of familial relationship between Tuyaknife and Bestech. The guy who runs Tuyaknife is like the Bestech guy's nephew or something like that. I don't know. Lots of other people have mentioned it, so I don't think I'm blowing any secrets out or anything like that. But you can see some similarities in hardware and things like that between the two. It's a good thing. I like Bestech, so I don't really have a problem with that at all. They are totally separate factories and totally separate businesses, though. But I think they're related somehow, so they share, obviously, a bit of hardware purchases and stuff like that. That's totally cool. That's completely fine with me. You'll see a review on this coming up probably within a week or so of this one. All right, let's move on and talk more about this particular knife. Aesthetically, I don't mind the way it looks. It doesn't blow me away in any way, but I think it looks all right. They did a good job. I normally don't like partial coatings on blades like this, but I think on this it does kind of accentuate the look of the blade. They did a very good job there. I really like the coating on the top here. I think that looks cool. A lot of these little streaky things look all right, whatever you want to call them. Streaky thing's a technical term. One thing I don't get is I don't know what that's for. I guess it's for your hand to rest in, but my hand comes nowhere near resting in that. So that little cutout there is kind of odd to me. But other than that, I like a lot about it. Aesthetically, it looks good. Nice deep carry pocket clip, which I always appreciate. Quality-wise, pretty good. The centering's great. The action is great. Lockup's pretty good. Yeah, there's nothing to really complain about quality-wise with it, except the pivot is a tiny little T6. I don't like that. Not free spinning, which is nice, but yeah, that tiny little T6 on a pivot, you're going to adjust that fairly often. Put a Put at least a T8 on there, preferably a T10 or something. But yeah, everything on this whole knife is T6. So that's not great. But it doesn't seem to be horrible quality screws. As I said, they're same Best Tech uses, I think. So yeah. Also aesthetically, it looks okay. Only just the little Tuyaknife logo on this side, I have no problem. Same thing I complain about with Best Tech's, the same font. Just font. Make it different. I don't mind that it's on there. Some people complain that it's even there. I don't mind that. Just make it, this is even a model name because they didn't have one at the time they made it probably, but yeah, this could just completely go away. But even if you kept it, just make it a more interesting font than that. It's just, don't like that at all. But other than that, aesthetic and quality, it's pretty good. For 45 bucks, it definitely feels like a more than $45 knife. Pretty well done there, I do have to say. The blade, not bad at all. As I said, 0.15 inch blade thickness, not terribly bulky. This nice little swedge here, very high flat grind. I measured it at 23 thousandths behind the edge. So that's not bad. It's not super slicey. You're looking at this about the same as, like a Spyderco or something like that, like a full flat ground Spyderco. Cuts really well. The D2 seems to be pretty good on it. I haven't had a problem with it chipping or anything like that. It seems to be pretty good quality D2. I like the blade shape itself a lot. I like this little kind of clippy point. I do like that a lot. I like the little swedge up here at the top. It's not bad at all. It's got a really good sharpening choil on it. Can't complain there. Yeah, it's a very good blade. Not bad at all. And that's what you're buying a knife for, isn't it? Now, ergonomically, also pretty good. Don't really have any real complaints. There's no real hot spots to speak of. As I said, I don't understand why that is cut out of there. I guess it's just they thought it looked cool, but it doesn't bother me at all. It's not like your hand settles down into it or anything like that, but it works okay. Pocket clip doesn't really cause too much of a hot spot. The G10 is fairly grippy, but these striations go, that's the word I was looking for earlier. I knew I'd come up with a fancy one. These striations go forward and back, so they don't really provide any extra grip, because your hand just moves along them. But the G10, it's a fairly hard G10, but it feels okay. It could stand to be a tick grippier, I guess, but it does make it come in and out of the pocket pretty easy, so I can't complain much there. Not bad, and you do lock into it really well. This jimping up top here, though, I will say, is on the ornamental side. It doesn't really do a whole lot. I can slide my finger back and forth over that all day. This choil, you can choke up on it if you want to. I would highly suggest to be very careful if you do, though, and you better have skinny fingers like I do if you're going to do it. But ergonomically, it's pretty good. It does not blow me away awesome, but it's pretty darn good. Now, what's up next? Carry. It carries really good, especially given the weight and the thickness of the handle. It's got a nice deep carry pocket clip. You're not going to have much sticking out there at all. This flipper tab is awesome. It does have some jimping on it that helps you open it, but it's nothing that's going to bother you at all reaching it out of your pocket. And it's a nice minimalist, small kind of flipper tab. And I like how this angle, when you do reach in your pocket and try to reach past it, it kind of pushes your fingers away from it, which I do like that a lot. It's not just an abrupt, pocket pecker as Nick Shabazz would say. But it's pretty good. It does carry very well for its size, I do have to say. It's not awesome, but it carries pretty well for its size. Now, deployment, really, really good. Runs on ceramic ball bearings, rockets right out every single time. They nail the detent on it, and it's very fall shutty for 45 bucks. Very fall shutty. Again, what you'd expect from a Best Tech. This is going to be a $52 Best Tech, and it's almost about the same. Same kind of thing you'd expect. Very nicely done. And again, I say that the detent on this is just outstanding. It's really good. They nailed the detent on this. It's not too hard, but rockets out every single time. Very much like this knife. Now, let's come up to the, I guess we're already at the conclusion. Oh my gosh. Going through very fast. This is a short review. Sometimes short reviews are good reviews. Sometimes short reviews mean I just don't really have anything that bad to say about it. And I don't. This is for 45 bucks. Very good value. Very nice couple to deal with. It is a small U.S. representation, and Tuyaknives themselves are fairly small. But I would suggest taking a chance on them if you just want something a little bit different. And these Chinese G10, D2 knives. There's a whole ton of them out there. It is a popular format right now. I'll probably link down below, actually. My buddy Zelric did a little video about that, just kind of talking about all these China D2 knives. I think this is one of the more unique ones. So I think Tuyaknife is up and coming, and you know, they're one of the smaller ones, but you want something that not everybody has. I think this is a cool one to try. They've got other models out there too in different steels. They've got titanium S35VN knives. I'll have a review one of those coming up. They've got, I saw like an AUS 10, which you don't see that steel very much. So check out Tuyaknives. The links will be down below. I'm not even going to try to read the website name because the website is a bit of an odd name. But link down below. Go check them out. Very cool knife. Well worth the 45 bucks. Well worth taking a chance on. I do really like this knife. And I like the nice titanium one that I got even better. You'll see a review coming up on that shortly. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. Check out Tuyaknife if you have not before. I've been Brian. Have a good one.